with the devastating attack in Borno State, which is demanding urgent attention as suspected Boko Haram and ISWAP terrorists on Wednesday launched a coordinated assault on the 82 Division Task Force Battalion military base in Ngoshe community, Gwoza local government area of the state, abducting more than 100 women and children, burned down homes, armored vehicles and businesses. Many residents have fled to nearby towns, leaving Ngoshe largely deserted. Senator Ali Ndume of Borno South has confirmed the attack, urging intensified military operations in Sambisa Forest and Mandara Mountains to curb the resurgence of insurgency.
We need your prayers. It's not
More displaced Nigerians, 100 women and children abducted in the night while the nation sleeps. Nigerians are asking a very simple question. How do terrorists move over 100 people out of a community that has a military base without interception? Meanwhile, ISWAP has claimed responsibility for a deadly raid on Kirshinga, a predominantly Christian community in Madagali local government area of Adamawa State on February 24th, killing at least 25 to 27 people, including soldiers and civilians, and burning at least 10 homes to the ground. In a deeply alarming development, ISWAP issued a direct ultimatum to the surviving Christian community to convert to Islam, pay a religious tax known as jizya, or face death. The terrorists were said to have arrived on motorcycles and overwhelmed local vigilantes and soldiers. The violence has drawn international attention, with United States Congressman Riley Moore condemning the attacks as targeted religious persecution and calling for conditional U.S. aid tied to stronger protections for Nigerians. And I'll read Riley Moore's post on X. He wrote, "Christians continue to be explicitly targeted for their faith in Nigeria. ISIS West Africa is slaughtering Christians and telling other Christians they must convert or die. In our report to the White House, we made it clear that increased American support is contingent on the Nigerian government doing more to defend Christians. Now is the time for Abuja to step up. Convert, pay, or die." This is the ultimatum being issued to Christians on Nigerian soil in 2026. This is not just a security crisis. It's a humanitarian emergency. Now, the federal government's response must match the scale of the threat. Really. Meanwhile, heartbreaking images are emerging from Wukari and Taraba State, where a devastating fire completely destroyed St. Mary's Catholic Cathedral, the seat of the Catholic diocese in Wukari. On Wednesday night, the blaze gutted the entire structure, collapsing the roof and reducing the multi-million naira cathedral to ruins. Let's take a look.
Sadly, this is St. Mary's Cathedral, Wukari, and as you can see, the whole roof is completely raised, and some of the pews were rescued, and that's about the most that the people who came early could do. So currently some of the pews are burning inside, and the whole roof is gone. With time we'll find out the cause of the fire outbreak, but at the moment this is the situation, and this is the condition of the Cathedral of St. Mary's, Wukari. So please continue to pray for us, and let's hope that things get better someday.
By the cause of the fire is still officially under investigation, with some reports pointing to an electrical fault following a power restoration, while others on social media have alleged arson. Now, no lives were lost, and for that, the community is grateful. We'll continue to follow up on the story. I mean, that fire was quite alarming, and I'm sure our viewers would agree it was quite shocking to see. Like I said, many users on social media have alleged arson. Some people have, blamed jihadists for this fire. But I'd like for you to summarize the stories that I have brought forward this morning. We're hearing 100 women and children have been abducted in Borno State. Children, women, some of them pregnant, and we're seeing our Nigerians displaced. They're going to obviously join the IDP camps, and also we're hearing, these jihadists. It's not the first time we're hearing. I believe last week or 2 weeks ago, we did take another story of ISWAP demanding that Christians convert, pay taxes, or die.
Ochi, these numbers for me never, they never make me feel numb. Every single time I hear more numbers, it's like the first time, because every week we hear hundreds. In the beginning we would hear maybe 20 or 30, but consistently now you find that when these incidents happen, it's 100 or more displaced, killed, slaughtered. And what's heartbreaking is that we don't get to follow these stories to a conclusive end, in that we do trace the stories, but in essence these people have total impunity in our ungoverned spaces. And you ask yourself, how is it that we still have ungoverned spaces in this day and age? The new IGP, Inspector General of Police, was sworn in just yesterday, and he really has a tall order. But we continue to ask ourselves again around the conversation of, is it terrorism or is it crime? Where do the two intersect? Because we know that if it's crime, it's for the police. If it's terrorism, it's for the army. But in this instance, we're seeing neither police nor army, there's just simply nobody available. Because you wonder, how is it these massive communities, huge numbers of people are moved? You hear the attacks go on throughout the night. I was listening to Dr. Abati speaking, I believe it was yesterday, when he was saying that often there's so much bureaucracy from the time you announce that there's a crime before they can deploy and so forth. But our security infrastructure just needs a total reset. And I'm glad that the IGP's agenda is firmly set on state police. The president is also set on state police. The National Assembly have been given the mandate to move swiftly through those provisions. And it's because of instances like this. When you look at some of the security reports, they say that these crises and these violence incidents have now taken on a new shape, which is that you have jihadists and you have bandits are now having their own turf wars in some of these areas. In fact, the reports say that if you look at the Nigeria, Niger, Benin border areas, attacks from 2024-2025 to present have gone up by 86%. The death toll has gone up by 262% in this period. It shows you that they're consolidating. So we just totally need to throw away what we know as security right now and create a new security infrastructure. Yes. Because clearly what we're doing now, they say insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting a different outcome. So it's now time for us to start on a new page and see whether state police is going to be the silver bullet that will be able to start making an impact with regards to securing Nigerian lives and property.
Yes, very well said, Vilbai, very well said. 100 women, children are out there at this moment. We are definitely understaffed. We've seen the numbers of, our security architecture, and, hopefully the state police intervention may help. Meanwhile, a soldier, Lance Corporal Rotimi Olamilekan, serving with the 81st Division Task Force Battalion in Maiduguri, Borno State, has reportedly been held by the military after posting a video calling on politicians at all levels to have their own sons enlist with the army or with the Nigerian police force. Olamilekan was reportedly arrested earlier in February and has allegedly not been able to access legal representation. Let's take a look at the video.
Please, when we do this in Nigeria, before any governor or any minister or any senate or any House of Representatives or even the chairman, before they came into position, please let them be nominating one of their son. Your son must become a military or a security member, not an officer cadre in the security. He will be among the other rank, so that they can be able to feel it like the same way the other ones they are feeling it. You know, if you are still in officer cadre, you can still be seen. You may not be going to some places. But being in that other rank, you see that so many people that will not contest. So let's do this. Let's do it. If we can be able to work, it's just a suggestion. Who am I?
Well, reports state that Olamilekan had been fighting on counter-insurgency teams within the military for over 4 years without being promoted. In fact, we are seeing here Lance Corporal. We have not gotten any official report from the military as regards to his whereabouts or whether or not he is, still under detention. But he is within his right to call on anyone to enlist in the police force. I think is within his right. But I mean, there are some codes, the military codes. I'm sure you are aware of some of these codes that you can make some comments as a soldier. But this is, I think, freedom of speech. Your thoughts?
No, so what they will say is that codes define them, and the military have been talking about men serving on the front and the use of social media, and they've been talking about this for a while, so they're going to invoke all of those codes. But the question is, what is it that Olamilekan said that is wrong?
Yes.
See, in medieval times, if Nigeria was to be in medieval times, do you know the people that will be leading the battle? It's people like the president. He will have to, in fact, for him to be a president then, he must have been battle tested. I mean, the likes of people like Attilas of this world, the Genghis Khans of this world, who are they? They had military valor. So they will be the ones that will lead the line as regards this. Haven't you wondered that till date the British royal family still ensure that some of their male sons still serve in the military? Do you know the reason for that? Because leadership must also be the one to protect the people. But today, we don't have that. And why is he saying that? Because of the pain police officers and military officers go through and lack of welfare. While I was there, somebody sent me a message about some police officers not being paid, I think their pension or something. And they go through all of this stress and get killed in the war front. And they're so quick to say their family members should leave the barracks. Look at what happened. People were attacked in the barrack. The soldier dies. What happens to their family afterwards? Nobody cares. We just so move on, and we are quick to move on. But what he's saying is very apt, that maybe if the leaders that are enjoying the largesse, that are flying the private jet, that are living the good life, maybe if they can only feel what the people on the battlefront are feeling, then life will be a whole lot better. Yes, some people will say it's kind of a mandatory conscription, it's also supposed to call for that and all of that. Apart from all of that, we know they have a code. But sometimes you wonder, just imagine, people like Olamilekan not being promoted, he earns next to nothing. But it's this in the same country that the NNPC used 5 billion to rebrand and just change name. We're talking about 210 trillion. Just 36 million were used to fund healthcare. Today, you just brought a story about over 100 people kidnapped again.
Yes.
The question I would like to ask the government, do we even have a director of the people kidnapped? Because till date, Audrey, we stopped talking about those that were kidnapped in Kwara State.
Yeah, they're still there, out there.
We've not talked about people that were kidnapped in January and multiple kidnapping. So, do we even have a record? And for me, boots on the ground is good. But when state police starts, you will see that state police is not really the solution. We need to be able to invest in intelligence and reconnaissance. But how do you invest in intelligence where there's complicity across board? Till today, we've been asking, who are those that instructed the military to leave 30 minutes before the Kebbi girls incident happened? Nothing. Till today, the government is saying that they don't pay ransoms. But foreign media is giving us facts and giving us resource to the effect that they pay ransom. So we don't have transparency and clarity in all of this process. And that's why Olamilekan is saying, and he's speaking for all of us, Because I will say what Olamileko is saying. The only difference is I am here, but he's in the military. I'm not a soldier. Maybe if they can bring their own children to come and feel what the soldiers are feeling. I know he's going to suffer for whatever is said, but Olamileko, you are indeed a true hero, and you speak for all of us.
I mean, I am also here advocating for more boots on ground. We need state police. I'm for state police because I've seen it work. We need more military intervention. We also need more soldiers to battle the insecurity we're facing in Nigeria.